Well, howdy folks, welcome back to another part of the Turbo 350 rebuild here. And I've been matching up the seals here. And we got our speedometer drive here, and I'm matching up these seals. So we got a seal that goes on this. And I looked through the kit, this one's a little bit smaller. And then we got two bigger ones. But this one obviously will fit. So we're probably going to go with one of these two. So we got that seal for this. That goes in the tail shaft, and then we actually got our seal for our shifting piece here, and this is our seal for our shifting linkage that just presses in the case here. So we're going to install that, and we'll just take a 1/2-inch socket and install that. So I will get that installed. Alright, so I got the seal installed here. I just took a 14mm socket here and got the seal installed. This is for our shift linkage here. So that fits really nice over that. So I just took a little socket, put over it, and knocked it in there. You can tell it'll make a little different pitch sound when it's flush all the way in there. Plus you can look to make sure it's all the way in there. There we go. There we go, but that's the seal for the shift linkage, so that's installed now. And went ahead and got our new seal for our governor cover here. It's actually a square seal versus the round one. So we got that installed. And for some reason when I got the kit, it's got a square one, but it fits real nice over that. We're going to take a little transmission fluid and rub over it. And we're going to install our governor for good. We're going to put a little transmission fluid on these 3 points. Put a little bit on their gears and these two pieces right here. Or 3 I should say, that way it doesn't go in dry. And then we'll get our governor cover installed next. Alright, so I got our governor here. I got some transmission fluid on it. And I put a little bit on the gears, and I put a little bit on these 3 lobes, you would say, right here. So we're going to install this next. All you got to do is push that in there, and you can come back here and look inside, make sure it's seated all the way. Ours is. And if we rotate our input shaft up here, we're going to rotate it, and then when we rotate it, it turns. Alright, next let's get this cover on here. Alright, so I took some transmission fluid, I rubbed around the seal, and I went ahead and got that on there, and now we're going to install our governor cover for good. So we're going to go on and take this governor cover, and it presses on just like that. We'll get our rubber hammer there, and get our punch, and you want to hit on the sides here in a star pattern, and we'll get it pressed on, and then we'll get our clip on here. So let's grab a hammer and get our punch, and we'll get this installed. So you got one seal right there. And the governor's in there. I'll see y'all just a second. Make sure you start out nice and straight. Alright folks, I'm working on getting this governor cover put back on here. And as you can see, I got it just about all the way back on. And it's not quite snug yet, but I've been taking my time here. I was trying to find a punch, but I couldn't find one, so I used this old bolt. But you want to take a bolt and just take your hammer and just take your time with it. And you want to hit it right on the sides. Don't hit this part, and that won't be good because you'll dent that in. You don't want to indent this. Otherwise, your governor will rub against this cover, and you don't want that to be very bad. But on the sides, I started here on this side, then I went to that side, then I went to the top, and I went to the bottom, and that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this on up here and get this snugged on up. Alright, so I got our governor cover installed here. It's all the way flush against the case there, as you can see. It's all the way around. It's nice and flush. And the only thing left now is to install our clip. And this is our clip right here. In the previous video I had made, I had this on wrong. and I'm gonna flip this case over here so I can show y'all the correct way to put it on. Alright, so we got our case flipped over here, and just to make this a lot easier, and we have our governor cover clip, and this end that's got more of the hook on it goes in this hole right here, just like this, and then the other end comes down and goes on top of it. Alright, I was trying to find the best angle on that, and once you install the governor here, we got this end that's more of a hook rather than the bottom end here. This installs in this hole above this case, just like it. So you install that end that's curved and more of a hook into this hole, and you come down. As you come down, you follow it down, it goes in this end right here. So this end, we want to get it right over in there. Sometimes you can get a screwdriver and get it. Sometimes you can just hit it, but we got it lined up just like that, and now we're going to push it over to right in here. There we go. It's installed. That's really all that's to it. So now this clip is installed. We got our new seal installed. Our governor cover is installed now, and all we have to do now is we'll just rotate our tail shaft here and make sure our governor, which is right here on this side, you will have a little bit of side play. That's fine. But if you rotate our tail shaft, it spins nice. So now it spins nice. So now we got our governor cover installed now. And now we're going to move on to, we still got our modulator left, but I got to find the clip. It's a little clip. Well, not a clip, but it's a retainer and a bolt I got to find for our modulator. Went ahead and bought an adjustable one. That's what it's supposed to look like on the side here. Because now we got that installed correctly. So that's done. So now all we got left now is we got a new shaft seal installed. That's down there. We got a new seal installed there. And if we come over, we got to install our servo yet. So we will get that installed here next, and we'll get our tail shaft buttoned up here and get the back end of this transmission done. Alright, so we're going to install our tail shaft here. This is a 6-inch tail shaft here, and it's what they call the short tail shaft. Some of them are 9-inch. The 9 inches were in the trucks, and some of them I believe were up to 12 inches, but this is a 6-inch. Now in the previous video I went ahead and installed a new seal. You also have a bushing that rides in here. Our bushing was good. As with all the other bushings in this transmission, they were in really good shape. None of them look bad. Turbo 350s are really famous about the bushings going bad, but this transmission right here had really good bushings in it, so I went ahead and reused them. But I installed a new seal here. Our bushing's good. It's no roughness or burrs or anything yet, so we're just going to reuse it. And I went ahead and I'm not quite sure. I couldn't find a lot of information on these seals, but I went ahead and took some transmission fluid and rubbed around this rubber seal here just to help it out. And we're going to install our tail shaft here. But before we do that, we have to install our gear for our speedometer here. And some of these are different depending on your gear ratio and your rear end. But for now, I'm going to just install what was originally equipped in this transmission. If I need to change it later, I'll change it later. It's just 4 bolts back here. Pop them off. You got a little clip that rides on there, and that's pretty much it. So we'll flip this over till this little hole is lined up at the top here. And I got everything labeled up in my bags. And let me pull out what we need. Alright, so in order to get this tail shaft installed back on this transmission here, you have this gear, and then you have this little clip here. So you want to install this gear. You also want to check it, make sure it's not eat up or anything. But you install the gear. It has a notch on it, as you can see. And I really think it doesn't matter which way it goes. I think it can go either way. Because if you look at the gears, they're going to the right that way, and if you flip the other way, they're going to the right that way. I don't think it matters. But you take your gear here, and we'll We'll go ahead and install it just like that. And we'll grab our clip. This is our clip. So you want to just sit the clip on here. Just like that. So our clip is facing just like that. Let me take our gear here. And we'll line it up. It's got a little notch in it at the top, as you can see. And just line that on up. And I'm going to face it with this bushing here facing out. So we'll just line that on up. That notch. And just push it on. There we go. That's all there is to it. So that's installed. That's all it is. If you ever need to uninstall it, all you got to do is push that clip down, and that will come right off.